Hi, my name is Robert Chelle with Chelle Law, and my law firm assists physician assistants with employment contract issues. Today I'm going to talk about what is tail insurance for a physician assistant. So the setting of where the physician assistant is employed usually will dictate what type of professional liability insurance they have, also known as malpractice insurance. So if a PA works for a big hospital network, generally the hospital network will be self-insured and tail insurance won't be necessary. Maybe if they work for some smaller standalone hospitals, that facility might use claims-made insurance, but most of the time, like 9 times out of 10, if a PA is employed by a hospital or a hospital network, they will not have to pay for tail insurance. If they are working for a smaller physician-owned group, that's the setting where it's most likely where claims-made insurance is used, and then the PA would be responsible to pay for tail insurance. So let's kind of break down what are all these terms. So first, in a kind of smaller physician-owned setting, there are 2 kind of common types of malpractice insurance. One is occurrence-based, the other is claims-made. So in an occurrence-based coverage, it just simply means a policy has to be in place when the malpractice incident actually occurs. So tail insurance is not necessary for an occurrence-based policy. Now, why would you get claims-made versus occurrence? A good rule of thumb is occurrence-based is usually about 1/3 more expensive than claims-made coverages. So I find smaller physician-owned practices usually use claims-made insurance just because it's cheaper, and then they'll pass the cost of tail insurance on to the employee, and therefore not only are they saving 1/3 a year on malpractice costs, but then they're giving the tail coverage responsibility to the PA as well. So in occurrence-based coverage, you don't need tail insurance. When you do need tail insurance is if there's a claims-made policy. And a claims-made policy simply means a policy has to be in effect when the claim is actually made. Now, someone could leave an employer, and then there's going to be a statute of limitations, so an amount of time that somebody can sue the PA. In most states, it's 2 years from either where you know or should have known of the malpractice incident. There are some exceptions for minors and things like that, but let's use 2 years as kind of an example. So in that scenario, the PA leaves the employer, and then a year later, somebody sues them. Well, if they have a claims-made policy, that policy ends when they leave the employer, so they need a gap policy, a tail coverage, that covers that gap in between when they leave and then the last day somebody can sue the PA. So as far as cost goes, a good rule of thumb is tail is usually about twice what the annual premium is. The annual premium is simply what the amount the employer pays to insure the PA each year. Now, for a PA, usually somewhere between $1,500 to $3,000. It's kind of like a good standard amount for malpractice coverage. So if they had to pay, somewhere between $3,000 to $6,000, it is specialty dependent. So someone who's, assisting in surgery versus, someone who's just doing primary care, there's just different risks there. If you're in, with an OBGYN or something like that, then obviously it would be higher as well. So, but just a good rule of thumb, somewhere around twice what the annual premium is. So you want to find out, all right, what's the annual premium? Is the employer paying my annual premium, which they should be? And then in the contract, it's literally going to state who's responsible to purchase tail insurance. And so that is an area that a PA can negotiate. You can kind of do a math equation if the employer gives the PA the option of getting occurrence coverage or claims-made coverage. If you know you're going to be there for a short period of time, it might make sense to get occurrence insurance. Whereas if you are going to be there for a very long time, doing the math, it could make sense to go for claims-made coverage. So that's a little primer on what tail insurance is for a physician assistant. You need to make certain there is language in the contract that states when the contract ends, and if it's a claims-made policy, who is responsible to pay? And then just a couple more things. I ended kind of early. The tail policy will need to be purchased prior to the end of the PA's employment with the employer. Then it's a one-time payment. You don't have to pay for tail yearly. You just pay all of the amount up front, and then you're covered for whatever the amount of tail that you decided to purchase was. You can purchase shorter tails or unlimited tail. It's just a matter of cost, really. If you have any questions, you can always give us a call at the phone number listed below in the description, or you can reach us through our website, chellelaw.com. Once again, my name is Robert Chelle, and I appreciate you watching the video. Thanks.